The most frequent excuse I get for not exercising is, I just don't have time. Well, I totally get that. Our lives are indeed busy, and many of us are trying to squeeze productivity out of every waking minute just to keep our heads above water. But I have to categorically disagree. We all have time. If we're willing to make adjustments to our ideas about exercise and what exercise is and can be, and we're willing to be creative, we'll make the time. I used to think of exercise as going to the gym. For many years of my life, I had gym memberships, but I always seemed to be inconsistent with that. I would start off strong, going every day, hitting the weights and the machines, and finishing up with a run. But then things would get in the way, and eventually I would just stop going. Then in 1989, I had major knee surgery, and my rehab included riding a stationary bike. It was a pretty serious surgery, and my days of jogging were over. So I just went ahead and bought a stationary bike. At first I would just flip on the TV or listen to music as I rode the bike, just to pass the time. But then I'd go a bit stir-crazy sometimes, thinking about the things I could be getting done. So one day I got an idea. In our home, the furnace room in our basement was unfinished. There was just enough room to fit my upright stationary bike up against the wall. So I took some measurements, got out my tools, and built a crude desk attached to wooden studs. It looked kind of hideous, I gotta admit, but it worked. At the time I was in graduate school, and I wrote many a paper and studied for many a test while pedaling away on my bike. It worked like a charm. No longer was I just sitting on my bike thinking about the other things I should be doing. Now I was actually doing them at the same time as I was exercising. I noticed a few other things as well. When I got my mind engaged in a very cerebral activity, like writing a paper, the time just flew by. It would seem like I had just started, and then I was done. Another unexpected benefit also emerged. As I got into the heart of my workout, my heart rate in the training zone, breathing hard, sweating, my body chemistry was changing. Cortisol was dissipating, and serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins were on the rise. The effect on my mood and clarity of mind was simply amazing. I did my best riding while I was riding my bike. Over the years, my methods have evolved a bit. Some back issues, while I've blown out an L4 and L5, have relegated me to a recumbent bike, which I now absolutely love. Again, I did some creative jury rigging to build a desk, which I attached to that bike. Looked hideous, but it worked great. I built it strong enough to support my laptop. By this time, I was working as a clinical director of a counseling agency, so I could answer emails, type up reports, do research, all while knocking out a great workout. Several bikes and several laptops later, it's now evolved into a pretty cool setup. I now have a swing arm for my MacBook, which is very handy and convenient. My MacBook has a voice-to-text feature, which allows me to use speech instead of typing. Talk about slick. I spend 90 minutes on my bike every single morning, answering emails, working on my website, writing articles. It's awesome. And as you probably guessed by now, this entire video has been written, filmed, edited, and uploaded while I am here on my bike. And if I can do it, you can too. No more excuses.